Picture this. I'm hosting a tiny prayer group in my backyard. 6 folks, folding chairs, whispering Bible verses, no fuss. Then Karen, the HOA president, storms up, clipboard in hand, whining it's wrecking the neighborhood's vibe. Trashing my faith? That's not just petty. It's a full-on declaration of war. So I hit the live stream button. The next Sunday night, we beamed our prayers to over 50,000 people. Guess who had to sit through every hymn from her living room, fuming? Karen thought she could shut us down and strut away clean. She didn't know she'd picked a fight with the wrong guy. I didn't just push back. I turned our quiet faith into a global sermon she couldn't mute. You're not going to believe how this went down. Karen figured she could bully our little group into silence. She had no clue I'd flip her own game, crank the spotlight, and make her the laughingstock of the internet. This story starts with a nosy complaint, twist through a wild stunt, and land with a victory so sweet you'll be cheering. Stick around, because Karen's about to get burned by the light she tried to snuff out. Let's drop you into Willow Creek, a sleepy Illinois suburb where old sycamores shade tidy lawns. Kids toss frisbees till dusk. Front porches hum with tales older than the streetlights. I'm a retired electrical engineer, 65, more at home splicing wires than glad-handing at HOA barbecues. My wife passed a few years back. Her smile was my beacon, her faith my ground. Every Sunday, I open my backyard for a small prayer group. 5 or 6 church buddies, mostly seniors, lug folding chairs. We read the Bible, pray, then munch oatmeal cookies and iced tea. It's quiet, soulful, no drama. It wasn't just a habit. It was where I'd feel her close. Scout my mutt, would doze by the roses. Peace stitched my heart back together. Every verse was her warmth. Every prayer was my pride, a ritual I'd guard with my life. Willow Creek wasn't all serenity. New money flooded in. McMansions sprouted like dandelions. Their gates shone brighter than their souls. Enter Karen, HOA president, the self-anointed queen of Willow Creek Estates. She ruled with a clipboard meaner than her perm. She didn't manage. She crushed. Her bylaws were a noose on anything free. Wrong mailbox you? A $300 fine. Too loud crickets? Warning letter. Clara, my neighbor, got a $400 hit for a tacky bird bath. It had a duck, big deal. Karen's patrols were clockwork. Her SUV prowled at dawn. Her clipboard snapped like a judge's gavel, sniffing out joy like a bloodhound on a trail. Willow Creek Estates wasn't a community. It was her empire. Neon notices were her whip. Her smug grin was a fortress nobody dared breach. Our prayer group was her obsession. Held legally in my yard, zoned free, it murmured. No HOA rule touched it. I kept low, praying Sundays, tinkering weekdays. No trouble. Folks knew me as the prayer guy, not a rebel. I liked fading into the verses, my wife's voice in the hush. Clara brought brownies, soaking up the calm, griping Karen's fines. Her mailbox took a $350 hit for chipped blue. Jamal, the local carpenter, cursed a $450 smoke fine. His grill was pure art. Rosa, whose roses bloomed like a sunset, paid $500 for excessive petals. Petals? I'd chuckle, knowing my permits outranked Karen's pen. I'd wired grids tougher than her. A clipboard was a toy, but Karen's eyes locked on our group. She called it unseemly once. Her sneer sliced deeper than a blade. Unseemly? It was my faith, my refuge. I defend it with every circuit in my soul. She sent warnings. Unpermitted gathering. Aesthetic disturbance. I fired back with bylaws, council approvals, all clean as a whistle. Karen didn't care. Her notices piled up. Each one was a jab, daring me to swing. I filed them. Engineers calm holding. Trace the fault, don't spark. But her complaints grew nastier. Her threats sharpened, whispering bans and cops. To her, I wasn't just a neighbor. I was a holdout. That prayer group, my wife's heart, was her target. One she'd hush till it faded. Karen's war kicked off with a snap. A neon notice slapped on my back gate. Her HOA seal glared like a court order. She didn't knock. She invaded, standing in my yard like she owned my hymnals. Your prayer group is a nuisance, she said, flipping her clipboard with a nail sharp as her smirk. It's trashing our community's look. Look, my 6-person Bible study was legal, zoned free since I bought the place, quieter than her leaf blower. I leaned on the fence, sipping coffee, and slid my paperwork over. City stamped, bulletproof. Not your yard, Karen, I said, voice flat as a breaker box. It's my faith. Her lips twitched. Her eyes glinted like a coyote eyeing a lantern. Yards don't run Willow Creek, she purred, venom lacing her yoga mom smile. Rules do. Rules have teeth. Teeth? That wasn't a chat. It was a gauntlet. I peeled the notice. Scout's growl matched my pulse. I figured she'd back off. No chance. By week's end, notices piled. Printed, Official, absurd. Unauthorized assembly, for $100 fine. Public disturbance, $300. Coercive noise, $500. Noise. Our prayers were softer than her yappy mutt. I filed them, instincts humming. Log the circuit, don't spark. But Karen wasn't tossing darts. She was rigging a blackout. She crashed our Sunday prayer. Scout's ears pinned. Her SUV parked like a barricade. Clara set cookies. Jamal arranged chairs. Rosa portea. Karen ignored them, zeroing on me. Her clipboard tapped like a war drum. This group's wrecking our neighborhood's vibe, she said, voice dripping scorn. Shut it down or we act. Act? My yard wasn't her chapel. I opened the Bible, cool as a fuse. Permits are clean. Karen, you got no shot. Her grin turned arctic. She wasn't debating. She was ordering. Clara whispered she's poison. Jamal nodded. Find my grill, $450 for smoke. Smoke? Karen's eyes dare me to swing. That hit. A Sunday, mid-verse, Karen's camera clicked from her balcony, snapping us like we were crooks. An hour later, an HOA email landed. Unsanctioned gathering. Community disruption. She called our hymns religious noise pollution. Pollution? My blood boiled. Engineers don't short. We rewire. Karen thought she'd won, but her teeth had just flipped a switch she couldn't cut. Karen's complaint didn't just sting. It scorched my soul. Her attack wasn't a jab anymore. It was a full-on power surge, targeting our prayer group like it was a mob. The fines didn't pile. They choked. Each one was a brasher lie. Excessive congregation, $800 fine. Excessive? 6 seniors praying was legal. Quieter than her pool parties. Behavioral nuisance, $700. Our verses were softer than her gossip. Then came aesthetic violation, $1,000, claiming we tank curb appeal. Appeal? Neighbors shared our cookies, not her lies. I locked them in my safe, instinct screaming. Build the circuit, don't fry. But Karen wasn't playing. She was unplugging. Our group was her fuse. I sniffed a scam. Years wiring grids taught me to spot faults. I checked my yard. Fences were tight, no violations. But signs grew. Clara caught Ted, Karen's lackey, scoping my gate. Said it's for a survey, she hissed. But he had a camera. Camera? Jamal saw Bar with a contractor, Karen's inspector, packing a phone. Inspector? More like a snoop. I dusted my chairs. Smudged prints, enough to flag. Rosatipme. Karen's at the coffee shop, crowing. Prayer group's toast. Town's clean. Clean? This wasn't a fine. It was a crusade. Our prayers, my wife's heart. My fight were her target. That Sunday, I stood in my yard. The email seared. Karen's photos stung like live wires. Cops rolled in, saw 6 old folks praying, and shrugged. They muttered apologies for the call. Rage sparked, but I thought like my wife. Shine, don't curse. I dug into HOA rules. Bylaw 5.2, private gatherings under 10, no restrictions. Inspiration flashed. Why hide our faith when I could broadcast it? Big-eyed wired boulder systems. I called my grandkid, a media major, to rig a live stream. Phone, clip-on mic, YouTube ready. I moved quiet. Cameras were set, bylaws locked. Emma, my lawyer pal, was on speed dial. Karen's fines were flimsy. The First Amendment backed me. I'd stream first, fight later, letting her strut into my trap. Clara's tip came through. Karen's HOA meeting, her stage to gloat. I lined up streaming gear, Emma's notes, Jamal's photos. Ted's text read, fines piling. Boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen thought she'd won. Her perm was a crown. I was the spark. This wasn't a fight. It was a signal, and her world was about to light up. Willow Creek woke to buzz. Neighbors whispered. Our prayer group's fines were the talk of the town. I stood in my backyard, Bible down. My blood surged like a live wire. Faces swung. Clara's eyes popped. You that prayer guy? Jamal grinned. Knew you had voltage. Karen's HOA cronies, parked nearby, froze. Ted's coffee hit the dirt. Barb's yapper choked mid-yap. Karen lounged by her gate, latte in hand. Her smirk faded. She hadn't known. She hadn't dreamed the guy she'd targeted was about to live stream her downfall to thousands. I paced my yard. Fine stacked up. Karen's noise pollution email stung like a bad splice. Her complaints were fraud. No HOA could ban faith. The Constitution shielded us. Then Jamal dropped a bomb. God, that to watch out, but that prayer's gone, class save. She framed our hymns as filth to prop her clean town cred. Class. My gut roared. Engineers don't flinch. We search. I scoured records. Karen's bylaws, pinned solo, had no votes. Fraud, bold as her perm. I dug deeper. Emma pulled HOA files. $25,000 in fines, no receipts, funneled to Karen's cousin's consulting scam. My setup was bulletproof, untouchable. Then the twist. Sunday night, 8 p.m., Our live stream sparked faith in the shadows when neighbors hate your prayers. My grandkids' rig, phone, and mic beamed us to 2,000 viewers, folks sick of HOA nonsense. Comments blew up. This is wild. Karen's nuts. Karen flipped. Her own live stream whined about an illegal sect. Sect? I'd wired her trap. Our prayers soared live. Her lies were exposed. Karen's meeting loomed. Her stage to spin lies. I rolled in, cameras ready. My sign was lit. Faith glows, freedom stays. She'd lose it clueless, expecting cheers. I stacked stream stats. Emma's suit. Trespass, fraud, harassment. Clara's tip came through. Ted's text read, fines locked, boss thrilled. Thrilled? Not for long. Karen's ex-post crowed. Willow Creek's pure. Pure? She trashed my wife's faith. I was the signal. This wasn't a fight. It was a broadcast, and her street was about to go live. Willow Creek's HOA hall was a tinderbox. Chairs were stuffed. 1,200 neighbors were crammed in. The air crackled like a storm about to blow. Karen stormed to the podium. Her perm was a fortress. She gloated like she'd muted her foes. We're saving Willow Creek, she crowed. Our prayer group's fines were her trophy. A slide slammed it as a community blight. Standards, she preached. Standards? She'd spit on our faith. Neighbors stirred. Clara's fist balled. Rose's eyes burned. Jamal leaned forward, jaw set. Karen's smirk was steel. She thought she'd own the signal. She spun lies. Our prayers were disruptive. Occult tanking values. Half nodded conned. Half seethed smelling rot. Det do set huazulet falai. Floors ate them like ash. Karen glowed. We've cleansed Willow Creek. Cleansed? My move. I rose, camera in hand. My sign blazed. Faith glows, freedom stays. My voice was low, like a hymn rising. Karen, got a live stream to share? She froze. Her latte splashed. She expected cheers. Rosa, Isid. Short her out. I hit the live stream. The screen lit up on the HOA chat. 1,000 neighbors were glued. Footage rolled. Karen's complaint, no vote. Her smirk as she slapped fines. Then our stream. 50,000 viewers. Prayers soaring. The crowd roared. Jamal bellowed. Liar. Karen's face drained. It's fake. I clicked. Linda's USB showed Karen's email. Find the prayers. No debate. Clara's clip played. Karen's live stream. Sec crushed. Town's mine. Ted's text to Barb. Fines locked. Pay up. Neighbors surged. Clara screamed. Fraud. My stream hit 12 million views. Phones flashed like a wildfire. I faced Karen. Sign raised. You trashed our faith. Trespass. Fraud. Harassment. I tossed Emma's suit. Our stream was legal. Case 2025, WC 77. You're done. She choked. Standards. Cops rolled in. My call from dawn. Sheriff Klein stepped up. Cuffs gleamed. Karen, you're under arrest. Click. Cuffs snapped on her. Ted, Barb. They were dragged through jeers. Karen wailed. You can't. We did. The hall erupted. Cheers, fists high. Jamal Ugidroza. Clara's laugh was wild. Linda yelled. HOA's done. The vote was unanimous. Bylaws were torched. Karen's crown was ash. Our stream was the blaze. Rose's clip hit 25 million views. Neighbors chanted, freedom. I stood by my sign. My wife's faith was alive in their roar. Willow Creek wasn't hers. It was ours. Truth was the brightest beam. Karen's cuffs didn't just dim her ego. They snuffed her reign. Willow Creek roared. Neighbors flooded the streets. They hugged, laughed. Clara tossed brownies like confetti. Deputies hauled Ted out. His strut was fried. Karen sobbed. It's a setup. Setup? Her fines told the truth. The DA piled on. Trespass, fraud, harassment. Charges stacked like cables. My suit gutted her HOA. $70,000 in fines. No votes. Pure scam. Money funneled to her cousin's consulting racket. No receipts. Karen's lackey flipped. He named 40 scams. Prayers, sheds, all fined. All tied to her sister-in-law's Creek Realty. Clara's fence, hit in 22, wasn't unsafe. Barb's text bragged. Paid off. Rose's roses, fine last spring, were the same game. 100 neighbors spoke. X exploded. Hashtag Creek Justice spiked to 30 million posts. Tales spread from Texas to Maine. The council froze her accounts. $18 million was seized. Her gazebo was bulldozed. Her realty was a front for scams. Karen faced 15 years. Her plea died when Barb spilled $400,000 in inspector bribes. Karen's name was on each. Willow Creek didn't stare. CNN ran Faith Stream. We prayed, danced, moved on. The HOA collapsed. The board bailed. Bylaws burned. Neighbors raided the office. They unearthed $10 million in fines. Karen's piggy bank for spa trips, funded by Clara's birdbath, Rose's tulips. Leela to vote. New council, no fines, just trust. Karen's standards? Blown out. Our prayers were radiant. Clara clapped my shoulder. Your wife would be proud. Proud? I felt her, urging me to shine on. Willow Creek didn't just heal, it glowed. Our prayer group, now 40 strong, spills across my yard every Sunday. We livestream with captions, no fines, all pride. Neighbors pitch in. Clara brings cookies. Rosa pours tea. Jamal sets chairs. Hank adds grit. It's not a yard. It's us unbowed. The stream's a lighthouse. Folks tune in from across states. Their comments warm my soul. Karen? She's a shadow. Her curtains stay drawn. I catch her watching our feed. My yard hosts quiet nights. Kids leave candles. Strangers pray. Iston not dusk. Scout's tail thumps. My wife's faith burns bright, fiercer than ash. Faith isn't loud. It's a spark, a town that stands firm. Got an HOA horror story? A Karen who tried to dim your light? Drop it in the comments. Share your wildest clash, where you're watching from. I read everyone. Hungry for your fire. Did this stream light you up? Smash that like. It's wiring truth to the grid. Share with your crew, neighbors, even the guy with the loud mower. New here? Subscribe. Hit the bell. We're chasing more wins, laughs, and grit. I want you in the circle. Thanks for praying with me in Willow Creek. Keep shining, fighting, crushing nonsense. Catch you next. Stay tough. Stay true.